Hello, and thank you for joining us today for a conversation with Nikki Clifton, President of Social Impact and the UPS Foundation. UPS and the UPS Foundation have been incredible partners to the World Food Program USA for many years. Matter of fact, since 2009, UPS has supported the World Food Program's investments in innovation and provided crucial help with transportation, warehousing, and logistics around the world. Time and time, when emergencies strike, UPS has stepped in to quickly move food and resources by air and by sea to make sure relief reaches people who need it most. Together, our partnership has enabled incredible supply chain innovations and delivered aid across more than 30 countries. We're so grateful to UPS and UPSers, by the way, everywhere for standing with us in the fight against hunger. And today, I'm especially honored to be with you, Nikki, to hear more about your leadership at the UPS Foundation and your perspective that you bring to this important work. Love to start with a question. Is that okay?
That's awesome. Thank you for the partnership, Barron. I'm really happy to be in community with you today.
And Nikki, I'd love to start maybe giving viewers an opportunity to get to know you a little bit. Tell us about your journey with UPS and what led you to the work with the UPS Foundation.
Sure. Happy to talk about my journey. I always say that my path to the UPS Foundation wasn't a straight line. It really has been a journey shaped by service. I've been with UPS for 23 years, and I've had three distinct careers here. First, I started as a labor and employment lawyer. Then I moved to government affairs in Washington, D.C. in 2008. And you'd be interested to know that as part of my onboarding, I had to drive a UPS truck for 3 months. And so that was some of the intentional ways that we made sure that we understood the community, that we understood when we're talking to Congress about UPS, that I could do it with a real understanding and respect for the work that our people do every day. That experience really grounded me. I learned the neighborhoods, really started to understand how our drivers are so entrenched in the community. And I saw up close that service really is the heart of our company. From there, I spent 10 years in government affairs, advocating for legislation and policies that help our company become stronger and better able to serve our global communities. And what led me to this seat is that in 2020, during the pandemic, I was promoted to lead the foundation. And this has been far and away my most rewarding role at UPS. I didn't always see myself in this seat, but government affairs taught me how deeply a company can impact communities around the world. And when I started to really understand that alignment between doing good and delivering goods, and the fact that UPS and the foundation can really be a good news engine for the company, it's something I fell in love with and the chance to deliver what matters at scale.
What a great story. And a shout out to the UPSers who deliver packages to the World Food Program USA. We thank them every day. The UPS Foundation supports many organizations and causes, Nikki. I know you know this. I read recently that the foundation's impact of over 120 million lives last year is
Yes,
amazing, with over
thank
50
you.
million invested in communities through grants, in-kind donations, sponsorships, and employee contributions. So, how does an organization like the World Food Program fit into the vision and mission of the foundation and the vision of UPS as a company?
Barron, our partnership really is perfect. Our vision at the UPS Foundation is to deliver a more equitable and just world. And that means bringing our scale, our scope, our reach to meet the world's greatest needs, especially in moments where logistics literally saves lives. And that's why the World Food Program is such a natural partner. WFP is the UN's lead logistics agency, a giant in humanitarian logistics. And then UPS is one of the world's largest logistics leaders and provider of supply chain solutions. So we speak the same language, right? Timely delivery, just in time operations, precision logistics. And we also have sort of the same ethos and obsession, making sure that we're getting essential goods to the right place at the right time, whether the roads are washed out, whether the power is down, whether there's no GPS to be found. Our organizations know how to get it done. And our drivers and our operators know the communities intimately. And so we're able to find solutions that scale technology. And when tech fails, we have the muscle memory of people who know how to get it done. And that's what we see in you all at the World Food Program. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that we also want to work with partners who are the gold standard. You all, the Nobel Peace Prize laureate, Platinum Standard Organization for Impact and Integrity. We choose partners who share our standards and our urgency and our commitment to dignity. And that's the organization that is thriving under your leadership, Barron. It really is a perfect pair.
Well, thank you, Nikki. As we talk about innovation and technology and logistics, UPS recently renewed its support for the World Food Program's efforts in India, where UPS and WP are working together along with the government to develop innovative approaches to food warehousing that reduces spoilage. These smart warehouses that UPS supports leverage cutting edge technologies to improve monitoring and security. And the warehouses deployed so far have benefited more than 10 million people annually. That's just an amazing impact.
Astounding.
So, we talk about innovation. Why is innovation so important to the work of the UPS Foundation?
Well, think about the number that you just described, 10.8 million people annually that are supported because we were able to partner on a solution that has lasting impact. And so that kind of work and doing that at scale, I think is so important. We're not just doing the small things together, right? We are trying to really hone in on the things that matter most. And when you think about tackling the root problem with the exact capabilities that UPS is built on, human capital, logistics expertise. That's what makes me really proud to be part of that smart warehouse solution. We're looking at root problems, simple problems, because there's enough food, there's enough grain. It's about keeping it safe, keeping it away from the rodents, keeping it climate protected. And so we're able to have our colleagues at our India Technology Center consult, co-design, and help optimize. That helps you all, it helps the end user, but it also gives our employees an incredible sense of purpose beyond what they do every day. And I think equally as important is you talked about the partnership with the public sector. When you can demonstrate a proof of concept that aligns with government priorities that are safe, more reliable food systems, then you can create a path to scale that's really sustainable in partnership with governments that you need and want to support as a business engine. And so that's, I think, it's just another reason where we have that shared value together.
Shared value and partnership. Nikki, as I mentioned earlier, UPS has been a crucial partner in helping the World Food Program in emergencies. Earlier this year, UPS helped WP ship emergency biscuits to provide immediate food assistance to approximately 40,000 refugees entering Uganda. In just the last 5 years, UPS has actually airlifted over 730,000 pounds of life saving aid to at least 9 countries, reaching more than, get this, 9.1 million people worldwide. So
Wow.
grateful for that support. And what role do you think the private sector can play in responding to these types of humanitarian crises?
Barron, I think the private sector's role is to use our scale, scope, and reach and what we do best in partnership with your expertise to make sure that we are leveraging our planes, our trucks to be able to get emergency supplies when it matters. So, regardless of what business sector you're in, understand what your secret sauce is. And then listen to the experts to help leverage those capabilities to save lives. You mentioned an example of us supporting emergency shipment through high energy biscuits, right? 40,000 new refugees arriving at border entry points. Why biscuits, right? Turns out that these are nutrient dense, ready to eat food designed for people who have no utensils, no fuel, no storage. It truly is a lifeline in those first hours and days. And so the shipment is a window into the larger point that the private sector can turn operational strengths into life-saving action fast and at scale. And that's the obligation that I think the private sector has, unique capabilities to use our infrastructure, networks, and expertise to mobilize quickly.
Thank you. So we're talking just before World Food Day, October 16th, when I hope more attention will be paid to today's hunger crisis. The global hunger rates are simply alarming. More than 300 million people face extreme hunger every day while also taking care of their families and communities. But as we all know, hunger is also the world's most solvable problem. Nikki, what have you learned about hunger and the efforts to create a world without hunger that has made a lasting impact on you personally?
Barron, I think just reflecting on the statement that you just made, that hunger is a solvable problem. Why is that? We know that hunger isn't inevitable, but in many places, it's a logistics problem. And being in the logistics field, the impression that I've walked away from is there is enough food in the world. The challenge is getting the right food to the right place at the right time and keeping it safe along the way. And that's why organizations like WFP and partners with UPS matter, right? What stayed personally connected to me is that if we can do our part of the puzzle, everybody has a piece of the puzzle that they can solve. I tell the team, we can't boil the ocean, but we can work on our part, which is the logistics piece, and then supporting nonprofits like you all who are the experts and understanding how you can do what you can from where you are. And I think that's whether you're a big business or whether you're an individual that you can volunteer locally, you can support your food bank, you can mentor a young person who wants to work in supply chain. And so these issues are not, well, they are complex. They are not without immediate actions that all of us can take if we just sit back and ask the experts like you, how do I get involved? And then consistently show up. So I think when each of us brings our piece, governments, NGOs, businesses, individuals, that picture starts to come together and we can create a blueprint for a world where no one goes hungry.
Nikki perfectly said, we all play a role in the elimination of hunger. So thank you for joining me today. We're so grateful for your personal leadership and to have the support of UPS and UPSers around the entire world.
Thanks so much, Barron. I'm grateful for the World Food Program and for everyone who really makes this mission come to life every day. Thank you, UPSers. Thank you, World Food Program team. Let's keep this going.